EC or ECG.
It is this one.
No matter what, there is EC. So it's either the ECN or EC and you add the G. But once you mention journalists, I think it's the EC. I think there are people at the EC headquarters who do not know how the journalism profession works, right? The media work. And it's evidently clear.
That's why they would extend invitations to particular media houses.
Yeah, that's one. Two, to ask your regional directors to furnish you with names of media houses is the most ridiculous thing you can ever do.
Credible media houses.
So on what basis would the directors make that judgment call that media house A is credible? So let's allow media house A access to a collation center where the results will be collated, where the citizenry will have to be informed about what's happening at the district level, what's happening at the regional level, and what's probably happening at the party EC headquarters. But I think, like I said, it's out of ignorance. I'm sure after engagement, no, honestly, I honestly believe that it's out of ignorance. The IGP hinted of
that
a similar arrangement.
There will be a space for journalists.
Exactly. But then cutting down the numbers to 12.
12. Say 5 TV stations and 7 radio stations.
Can you imagine? Meanwhile, TV stations are now same as radio stations. So, for instance, if EIB deploys one person, that person will cover for TV, cover for radio, and what have you. But in your demarcation, you have said that radio people should come exclusive of TV people. like
look,
seriously.
And it's interesting. It's interesting because you see this election. One of the things we've all been talking about is disinformation, misinformation, malinformation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only way to deal with this is to make access to information easy.
Yeah.
So if you are putting in place barriers that will make information access difficult for journalists, accredited journalists, because for now all of us have accreditation. So of what use is the accreditation that you gave to us?
If you knew that you were going to limit it to 12, you should have stated this. So that you go to those 12 media houses and give them the accreditation.
Then the accreditation should filter from top to bottom. So once you have accreditation from headquarters, you should be able to access everywhere.
That has always been the case.
That's it.
We always anyway.
But you see what's going to happen with this. So, if of course, I'm sure this will be reversed. Obviously, no two ways about that. This will be reversed. But the bottom line is that if you're limiting access to collation centers, chances are people will have to depend on second, third reported results. You get the point?
Can you imagine?
And they will do their provisional collations and then make judgment calls based on that. How should you even?
I'm just wondering. So what? Sincerely, what kind of thinking even went into it?
Question.
The EC has a major problem, which is communication.
Yeah.
It's been identified by many of the observers who came.
Yeah.
Pre-election, post-election engagements and all. It's one of the key issues they identified. That is, there's a communication gap. Yeah. And when there is a communication gap, what will happen is that people are going to fill in the vacuum.
Oh yeah.
And so, as an institution already, you have a challenge with communication. Yeah. And now, you are now extending it to the number of media houses you are going to let in on the day of the elections. Yeah. Like, who is doing them? In how we say
the EC just likes attention.
Because as of now, the EC does not have a designated communications person to engage, to interface between them and the public. It has to be one of the commissioners, director of corporate services. Mostly, it is
your good
Boss Manasare, doctor.
Or your good friend. Is it Tete or Tete? Tete, your good friend.
So it's either Dr. Bosman Asare is the one engaging the media directly, or perhaps it is some authority that will address the press.
An issue.
Press releases
as well.
No, it's a big deal. You don't allow some of these things to.
Like I said, I'm sure by this time DJ is, because the EC decided to route the accreditation process through DJ. Hopefully, DJ by now is trying to pump some sense into some waters. Honestly, because you see, the last you want to do is send a message across that restricting media.
Yeah.
Restricting media coverage.
Do you know what even some politicians can do with this kind of information?
Was it not a media outlet that brought that incident of a politician giving money to electoral officers.
Yes.
It may not have been the intention. May not have been to
conscious.
It may not have been to compromise them, but the EC says, per even their terms,
It's
that
wrong.
is not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Had it not been the media, would they have known?
See, is a practical or impractical nature of even this arrangement. So you have accredited EIB to cover election 2024, right? Now EIB then sends a camera to a Sensible Ntefu, where there's a collation of the results in the constituency. And we say because the Ashanti Regional EC Director did not submit EIB's name as a media outlet in the jurisdiction.
And you see, you're going to allow too much room for discretion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you see, you would notice that what will happen if this stays in areas where there are strongholds of political parties.
Yeah.
They will choose
Yeah.
their
Oh, yeah.
preferred outlets
Yeah.
when some of them have proven that they are
Yeah.
not even credible.
Yeah. Yes.
They have used their mediums to spread misinformation and all those things.
Yeah.
They would rather have those people come and
Yeah.
cover, and they would misreport. Why are you going to allow room for such a discretion?
Now let me tell you.
So practical example, like just what I don't want to paint
Yeah.
that thing
Yeah.
for listeners to. So for example, if the EC officer at Ashanti Region decides that okay, I'll allow Woon to me,
Yeah.
because for now they have been the ones
Yeah.
peddling that
Yeah.
disinformation
Yeah.
to be one of the accredited
Exactly.
media houses
Yeah.
at the Regional Coalition Center.
Yeah.
We are dead.
I get you. If we don't change their ways. But here's the thing. I think I can guess the explanation that will come from the EC. That this is local radio and TV stations to the district and to the regions. It's not national. If you are national in nature and you're given accreditation,
It doesn't
you'll be
matter.
allowed. Well, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like,
no.
you
doesn't
obviously,
work.
it doesn't make sense. I agree. They will
You
try
get what I
and
mean?
beat them.
That's exactly what
But
will
you see,
happen.
it's about time the EC sees the media as
Yeah.
stakeholders.
Yeah.
Not just this EC. Remember in
Yeah.
the past, there was an EC
They were
chairperson that
charged, for
exactly for
accreditation.
accreditation we paid for. Please, they should decide, are we stakeholders or not? If we are, they should at least treat us with
Yeah.
some level of
Yeah.
respect. I mean,
Yeah.
We are the ones who are always being mistreated by these various institutions when
Yeah.
we only help
Yeah.
to bring,
You guys are
to ensure that their
trouble.
message gets to everybody.
You also give them pressure.
With pressure.
Pressure.
in the interest of the
Pressure.
public.
Pressure.
It's sad.
Eh?
Every
Pressure.
time. If
They
it's not,
issued a statement that they are going to first of all print notice of poll and then ballot papers. And you guys understood it to mean that they will print both at the same time. Meanwhile, they had brought end there. You didn't see the end. So, but that was the surprising way of it. That the first one was going to happen first. Then subsequently after the end.
Why you have,
The second one will
what
happen.
kind of English is that?
It is what it is.
Oh, your good friend was also in the news yesterday. Sticker.
Hey, yeah, he said his life was under threat. He's been justifying it. You see, we were talking about toy guns. You see what you guys have used the toy guns to do.
Don't
Now
worry.
you've gone to
Well,
meet live gun.
We mentioned it
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
if it was not nipped in the bud,
Yeah.
that is what was going to happen.
Exactly.
And I don't think that it went beyond 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Less
Because
than 2 hours.
not everybody is me. I'm not aware of this. I wasn't aware until you told me.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, the police effected those arrests.
Yeah.
So imagine, I'm somewhere and then I see people brandishing these around me.
Yep.
I would be terrified.
Of course.
Yeah.
And if I had a real one around me,
Of
I
course.
probably would reach for
We'll
it.
pull it. Yeah. 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 But this just happened at the rally. Oh.
His own people.
You know, people accosted him to inquire why an actual theft hasn't been completed.
Oh God.
And
And then they started
They
He
brandishing.
said-
decided,
yeah,
you
in
know,
fact, he felt threatened.
Yeah.
You see, when young people want to play football, right, and they don't have space to do, I'm serious here. And they don't have a place to do that, and they accost you. The venom.
Yeah. So one silly person will just pull out a toy gun.
Like honorable, absolutely have no way.
Anyway.
The Daily Graphic newspaper is a paper I have here. The digital copy. All set for special voting on Monday, EC says. Vote number 1 on December 7. Dr. Baumia tells electorate. Western Region chiefs appeal to Mahama for development. And EC.
I'm told there was a criminal who
burst into tears. But they have the president's statue.
Yeah, you know, we sat here and said politically,
no, but
that was miscalculation.
Before you finish, I think it's very, very ungrateful on the part of the people of the Western region to be appealing to the opposition leader for development when there is unprecedented infrastructural development coming to the Western region, to the point where a statue has been erected in honor of the president because of the unprecedented nature of development. So how is it that they are bursting into tears? They are asking an opposition leader for development. How is, I think as Oliver Twist, you always want more.
Exactly.
But at least, not now.
Okay. This will allow the statue to dry.
Yes. Like it's too early. What do you mean?
I'm wondering how the president will be feeling.
No, but you see, that's what, and politically we mentioned this, that at least the regional ministers will have protected the president in this regard, right? Now, what the statue has done is to divide the region. So immediately after the erection of the statue, you had the Discoff chief mount spirited and religious defense.
I think it's upper Discoff and lower Discoff. One of the Discoffs.
Yes.
And then other Discoff also.
Yes, so it's like North Korea and South Korea, no problem. We get that, but the point is, now almost all the traditional authorities are scrambling to say that, okay, so they say we have this amount of projects and this amount of development, right? But that's not reflected in our area. So if you come to power, and so yes, they're allowed to appeal to the opposition, that if the opposition leader comes to power, look at us favorably.
I don't think it's not right. The appeal is not right.
We hear you.
Like you said, the statue should dry a little bit.
Yeah.
It hasn't dried.
So Mama is there, so maybe Mama can also tell them where he wants his statue to be in future, so he can just they can just preserve that land for him.
He says he will complete the PTC interchange.
Oh.
Mama.
Is that not what the president said he would do?
No, but
before
two people can complete one thing. Well, two people cannot complete one thing.
Oh. No, but I'm saying the president said he will finish it. He will make sure it's complete.
Oh, but Nays and Co, the Takrade people, in fact, from engagement, it's practically impossible
for
that project.
No.
Okay, so let's put if there. If the president is unable to complete, and if the opposition leader comes.
I believe they will be able to complete it.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of if, I will go for when.
When it's completed.
Yes, please.
Okay, no problem. So then Mahama will have nothing else to do.
That's it. Maybe just get some cleaners to clean the place.
Or Akado. You know Akado?
What's that?
Akado is paint. Oh, you don't know that Akado is paint?
No. I think we have a different name for it.
In Ghana, no, Akado is tree.
I've forgotten the name, but yes, it's like stone, like it's rocky. You put it in water.
Some white.
And when you finish, paint it becomes white. Usually,
white.
So usually when events are coming up and you want a place to look,
when special people are coming to the country.
No, master, it's not special people are coming.
Oh. Haven't you seen that when we are expecting heads of state to visit?
Who told you that was Akado? That one is.
No, they use real paint.
It's Azar.
But I'm telling you that the name for paint in a tree is Akado, and you are now telling me.
So you are the one that has limited it to that.
Yes.
But you know that kind of paint.
No, I get you.
Because they will tell you that it consumes a lot of paint when the wall is a fresh wall.
Yeah.
So you use that before
that
you
one.
use it.
So I thought you were talking about that
one.
Because that one they used to do.
Poverty mathematics.
So that one they used to. I don't think they use proper paints for the roadside when they.
Oh no, they do.
Sorry.
Not just that, they use it for avenue plants. You know avenue plant? Oh yeah, for beautification.
Yeah, Christmas is almost here. We'll start seeing the decorations around. Christmas is coming.
Talking about decoration, good morning to the managers of the Ghana Airport Company.
Yeah, no, this time around there won't be Christmas. They will be, but not at that cost.
They love Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming. The geese
No,
are
Ghana
getting
actually,
back.
in fact, we get a lot of people come visit us during Christmas.
Yeah.
So they must feel Christmas.
Yeah, year of Christmas.
Christmassy.
This year,
Wow.
what was the name? Year of what?
It's nowadays it's dirty December. It's just dirty December.
one.
D-E-T-T-Y.
Come and-
D-E-T-T-Y.
Yeah,
But
come and
that
chill
one
and go.
will definitely the elections will have an impact on it, right? As whether
Look, let us clear by 10th.
yeah.
Once it is sorted.
Yeah. But the point I'm making is that so like every election year, half of the population actually celebrate Christmas. Half. I'm telling you, half they don't.
Really?
The losing population. See,
Although
are you
fly out.
no? The thing is, are you going to spend or are you going to save? It's very important. You might want to say. You get the point.
And your Father Christmas may not be a Father Christmas to you
That's the point.
this year.
Hey.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Exactly.
Other stories here. EC features at Graphic Development Series today. Okay. And Adan Traditional Council expresses concern over inaccurate
Yeah, they
media
should go
reports.
there and address the restrictions, the media
Yeah,
restrictions.
yeah.
They should go to it. Easy,
the
easy.
EC.
Ah,
They
yes,
should-
yes,
They
yes.
should go there and address the
Very
media
important.
restrictions.
So we probably should also go there and go and ask them the same.
No, graphics will ask on our behalf. Tomorrow we'll report it.
Graphic.
Graphic.
Okay. So, I'm done with the daily graphic news.
The Ghanaian Times this morning. We will safeguard polls.
Who are those?
The police. IGP. Yes. I like the colors Jim Mensah has been choosing of late. Very, very in your face kind of
Very
colours.
demure.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I'm just saying it too.
No, I don't know.
I don't know what I said. I don't
for you
think-
ladies, right? Yeah.
So the colors are bold.
And yeah, they are bold and they are kind of like in your face. Yesterday, the one we saw with Adam Kuma's wedding was pink, right? Yeah. Yeah, and this like more like how the lawyers dress.
Yellow.
No, not the color. I beg you. I'm talking about the top and down.
Okay.
The one they call Tokyo Joe.
Okay.
Okay. So that the lawyers have uniform and the color is yellow.
I'm just
That is
asking.
no okay. Thank
So
you.
that's how
No, no.
I'm asking yellow and
No.
sign of a front too.
Yes. And then Charlie. Anyway, enthusiasm, anxiety, grip Takrady electorate as December polls get closer. Why? Why the anxious?
Which one has shoes?
Is it Takrady electorate?
Oh, how?
What's the reason for being
Maybe
anxious?
enthusiasm, yes. But anxiety, why? Why should they be anxious?
Check for us.
Just go and vote. Okay. Page 9 of the Ghanaian Times. I'm sure it's just a reporter trying to like play around with some words like that. Yeah. So, say page 13. Enthusiasm. Page 13, Ghanaian Times. Okay, page 9. Let me come back to page 9. Okay, so, and this is a story from Clement Ajay Boy Takrady. Excitement, anxiety, and optimism grip the electorate as parliamentary candidates in Takrady crisscross the political turf to solicit vote with about 12 days to the December 7 general election, so now 11 days. Undoubtedly, 10. Okay, so this story
10
was
days,
filed.
11 hours.
Yeah, this story was filed 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Undoubtedly, the political temperature is high and infectious as all is set for the Electoral Commission to carry out its important task of organizing the polls. It will give Ghanaians another chance to elect a new president as President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo bows out of office on January 7, 2025 to elect 276 new parliamentarians. So I had to edit. The incumbent New Patriotic Party, a member of parliament for Takrady constituency, Kwabena Ochiri Mensah, who is also the regional minister, has maintained his grips on the seat since 2008 and is gunning to retain it for the 5th time. While the MPP and Daku Mensah seek to consolidate their hold on power, their main opponent, the National Democratic Congress, cites economic and social conditions, including the collapse of the railway sector, unemployment, and leadership issues as reason for change. Indeed, some political observers have tagged the parliamentary contest in Takrady as a battleground for continuity and change, incumbency and reset mode. The NDC recently, at its Efia campaign launch vowed to snatch all the traditional seats held by the NPP, including that of Takoradi. However, the vice chairman for Takoradi MPP constituency, Maxwell Akwa, is confident that the Tadi Deredem is not under any threat and that the party will retain the seat. Report monitored show that Mr. Daku Mensah and Frederick Faustinos Feidu, NDC, that's of the NDC, have entered the trenches, holding health walks, mini rallies, nightly door-to-door campaigns with hi-fi loud speakers to win terms of the electorate. Mr. Daku Mensah, in an interview with the Ghanaian Times, said the MPP will retain power in 2024 elections, saying, "We will continue to serve and change Takoradi. We want to do more, and the old wine is better than the new wine," unquote. We believe we've served Takoradi well, and that our continuous presence in the game enhances the chance of Western region. Yes, there are challenges with employment, but that's why we have brought in the Youth Investment Initiative to tackle that issue, because it's only the private sector that generates wealth, he contended. Mr. Daku Mensah further stated that, where is the anxiety? Okay, so there is no anxiety. Okay, so let me give you that of the let me give you that of the NDC before I'm accused of not balancing it. So he indicated that the multi-purpose, this one be like agenda for Daku Mensah. Okay, so there is lack of accountability. Okay, so lawyer Feidu complained about lack of good rules, employment for the youth, and poor drainage system as critical challenges that Takoradi faces. He said, quote, "There's lack of accountability from leadership. We need leadership of accountability, truthfulness, to create sustainable jobs for the youth through apprenticeship programs, as well as build the Takoradi we all want together." The Takoradi constituency, Mr. Feidu said, is the game changer for the NDC come December 7, 2024. Collectivity is what the electorate are calling for, says NDC's Feidu, lawyer Feidu.
Is it the lawyer that they took him to the jail?
No, I think the Takoradi one, he's a real lawyer. There's a second D one. Oh, the second D one that has been nicknamed lawyer. Okay. Reason why Mesa and Japan Mesa had to report him to the Chief Justice.
That he's using actually.
Of Sisyphus and crybabies.
That one. But I just only you can write too.
Right.
You know, when I saw the piece,
yeah.
Look, usually I'm put off by a very long Facebook post because I expect it to be brief and straight to the point. So I saw it, I was like, but it's studious. So I'd read it.
Yeah.
I had a smirk on my face the whole time I was reading.
Yeah.
And the last part, guy, is the one that knocked me out.
The knock part for me.
It knocked me out with the knock.
A knock.
I was like, hey.
In fact, the one that got me was he saying that, yes, there's a saying that the bat wants to piss on God, right?
Yes,
and that he doesn't know whether it's true or not. But what he knows is that it's good for his purpose, so he's using it.
You've been unfair to listeners. I think at a point you have to read it.
I have to read it.
Yes, I think I agree, because it's not everybody that's on social media.
Of Sisyphus and crybabies.
Yeah. So, Fair Wages and Salaries Committee signs landmark negotiation agreement with 44 unions and institutions. Revised VAT on mineral exploration. Lands Minister to next government. Yes. So, more or less like his exit advice. Right. The point I'm making is that regardless of who wins, there's no guarantee that he will be the minister. So, his exit advice is that whoever succeeds him, whichever government comes in, should revise the VAT on mineral exploration. Okay. So, back page of the Ghanaian Times, Energy Commission establishes academy to empower professionals across Africa, and PURC installs 128 kWp solar photovoltaic at Kofrodia office. You know, for a moment I thought PURC had added power to the national grid. I was going to say, oh, great.
When I heard KV, I was lost, because I thought they were doing something that had nothing to do with it.
Yes. And then so it's solar energy or solar power that they've installed in their own office. It's not that they are adding to the national grid.
They know what happened to them. They know the trouble confronting the national grid.
They are taking care of themselves. They are isolating themselves. And the thing is, I thought they like, they supervise activities of the ECG and then
advice. Maybe the advice is not being taken. So they decided to take matters.
It's very easy.
All right, Daily Guide is what I have next. Ghana's favorite newspaper. EC ready for special voting on December 2. Also, we will protect electoral officers, IGP assures. Ghana will not ban Nanado. And also, Bawumia shakes Malamata, Abosukai, and Hebron. Details on page 6. And Kozi commissions road bridge in Adenta. And there's a lot of commissioning happening in Adenta. December elections must focus on peace, not power. Details on page 12 of the Daily Guide. Back page of the same newspaper. Journalist blasts Real boss over Ballon d'Or comments, and Abedi Pele preaches hard work in Star's revival. Onana grabs top award, and Gensa PGA Championship rock celebrating golf club. Now do you play golf?
She will get there. Golf is actually a status, you know that. Playing golf is a status. Unless, as we are here this morning, there are some people on a golf course playing golf. We have to come and save Ghanaians.
It's an assumed sport.
We can't afford to do that.
The Daily Statesman newspaper is what I have here. Which people are talking? Me, I'm not at your level. Real estate developer and then Forex. How am I supposed to know all these things? Thank you.
Go into the forest now.
You know
Yes.
Because the fun people are listening. You don't want them to know that you have money. It's fine.
No problem. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, other stories here. In fact, I haven't read any stories for the
First
front
story.
page. Asanteman affirms support for MPP.
Hooray.
Assures massive vote for Bawumia to honor Akufo-Addo.
What, the council met? That's Santiman council met.
Stories on page 2.
No. I think I know the story. I think the story is about the enthusiasm.
The chiefs and people of the Ashanti region have expressed their readiness to protect the enduring legacy of President Akufo-Addo by voting massively for the new patriotic party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. They said ensuring a massive vote for the vice president in the upcoming elections would also be their way of honoring President Akufo-Addo for his commitment to the development of the region. They thanked the president for ensuring that the region benefited from national development projects during his time in office. The chiefs acknowledged that under President Akufo-Addo's leadership, the Ashanti region had received a fair share of the country's resources, which had helped improve infrastructure and promote growth. They also highlighted the president's effort to promote regional development as a key part of his government's policy. So I was during an interaction between the Ashanti region's traditional authorities and President Akufo-Addo at Menchia. The chiefs also spoke highly of the president's appointment from the Ashanti region, noting that several individuals from the area had been given key positions in his administration. Berima Safo Tweneboa Kodua Kumewu Hene, who spoke on behalf of the traditional leaders, praised the president and his appointees for their hard work and dedication to improving the region, emphasizing the positive impact these contributions had made on Asanteman.
So the Asanteman Council. Yes, at Menchia.
Nana Yedawasi. Free education, Nana Yedawasi. Number 1, echoing resoundingly all over. So he got an overwhelming welcome before heading to Menchia to meet His Majesty Otum 482. President Akufo-Addo was met with thunderous shouts of free education. Nana Yedawasi. And number 1, echoing resoundingly all over the area as deafening decibels of a pumped up and grateful Kumasi population displayed their love for the president and the governing party.
So from Kejetia to Aduato to Esase Bontefu to Asafo to Ahia Bokru. You know Ahia Bokru? Yes.
You know Bokru Jum?
There's Bokru Market. Bokru Market.
There's Bokru
There's
Jum.
Bokru.
It's Bokru Jum.
Okay.
You don't know.
So when you went to Kumasi, that was where you went.
Do you know Bokru Jum? You don't know. Hey. Yeah, I've been there. I've been me last year.
You never been to Kumasi once.
Who told you?
Oh, sorry.
My father worked in Kumasi.
No, you. I thought you were going to say you work in Kumasi.
No, my father worked in Kumasi, so I stayed there for a bit, if you don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't
That's
know.
why I'm talking about Bokruju.
That's what you were saying.
He was transferred there for a bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
And
y'all
so you schooled
put some
there?
respect on it.
You schooled there too?
Yes.
Or you just went to, oh no, I want to find out your
Yes,
school.
but it was brief.
Brief.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They have to cancel your name because you have to be transferred again. It happens.
Bro.
You know, in fact, that story is not told enough, about civil servant. And sometimes even diplomatic servant. And the toll such a lifestyle has on families. It's not easy. It's a big deal.
And sometimes you are told that if the system wants to punish you, they wait.
Oh, yeah.
When school is about reopening, then they
Yeah.
transfer you.
Yes.
Then it becomes difficult for you to secure
Secure
admission.
admission for your
I think, yeah,
children.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Charlie.
Anyway, please, are you done?
It is well. You people that you don't believe in me.
Oh no, we do.
I will shame you all.
We do. So we told before we go, we told there's massive traffic
At
from
where?
Sunny FM in front of my building, from Sunny FM all the way, and it started very early, and
Why?
many people are
Why are they
wondering why. I don't know. Probably there might be some activities at the conference center or something because. Honestly, the gridlock has started right from Sunny FM, from the Kandahari
All the way.
to the
Thank
front
God we
of our
came
house.
in time.
Yeah. So, Fred, we can't tell why there's that gridlock at this point in time, but you have to endure.
Yeah. Please bear with the.
But the police are equally alerted if there's something they can do about it. Yeah.
Ghana Police Service.
Yes.
MTTD to be specific.
Yeah.
The traffic lights at what's the name? How is it even called? You know when you use our over. Is it Kanda?
Kanda.
The
yeah.
Kanda.
Yes.
There is this right turn.
Yes.
Where there's a
Before you join,
GBC.
you come back.
But if you are going straight to Kaukudi, there's a traffic light after you descend from the overpass.
Yes.
It's not been working.
Oh yeah.
It's not been working
For
for
a
a
long
long time, and nothing has been
And
done
vehicles
about
have
it.
to use that U-turn and
Yeah.
come and join
And
the
you
road.
see, because it is an intersection,
That's it.
there are cars from the overpass.
Yeah.
There are those coming from Kaukudi going.
Yeah.
And then there are those who are trying to make a turn.
Yeah.
And then
Onto the left.
Highway, the speed.
Yes, and the speed. And so because the traffic light is not working,
Yes.
it is so chaotic.
Yeah.
And people don't want to be reasonable.
Yeah.
So Ghana Police Service, instead of the people that go and stand by traffic lights that are working and still will direct, can you take some of your people to that side for us? Because I don't understand.
It's the last part for me. Traffic light that works.
The traffic light is working. There's police officer there.
Especially when there is a shade.
Yeah.
Once there is a shade, you'll be stationed.
I am asking myself, if it is bad, if there's traffic lights and it's working in Kwadia, people will follow. But the parts where the traffic lights are not working at all and there's nobody there, and there's no effort as well to fix those ones. So we beg you, we're bringing this to your attention. Kindly fix it for us, okay? We beg. We don't want someone to get hurt before we'll say that, oh, they should have done this, they should have done that. We beg you. EC says that all is set for December polls. So Monday, special voting. Where are you voting Monday?
No, I'll vote on election day.
Why are you voting Monday?
Oh, I've always been a fan of the main. Like, there's a feeling when I cast my ballot on December 7th.
Exactly.
There's always a feeling.
I feel like if I vote,
I want to identify with the masses.
They won't count my vote.
No,
of course, it's
No, God, that's supposed to be.
Let's bring this
on a
one.
lighter
I
note.
mean, yes. Please, if you are to vote, if you're a special voter, please go and vote.
Turn up
on
and
Monday.
vote.
Yeah.
So, journalists and security personnel and all those people.
Oh,
will be
let's spend
performing.
some time talk about SDA people. Yes, see. We are told the population of over 800,000, right?
Yeah.
They've reiterated their threat that because Saturday is a Sabbath day and God enjoins them to remember it and keep it holy, the holiness will be defiled if they decide to go and vote, right? I'm in no position to dispute that, and I don't intend doing that. But one thing I know for sure is that many SDA people who want to vote. Yeah, the leadership has given.
But I mean, the leadership left it to their conscience.
Exactly.
If you feel that you still want to proceed, it's up to you.
Yes, there are many people who don't believe that voting will send you to hell. There are many things that will send you to hell rather than just voting, right? Yeah, but unless probably you vote.
So at least we have a fair idea.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, so I'll be politically
Yeah.
correct. So we have a fair idea the number of SDA people. We may not be accurate, but at least there's a
The
figure.
estimate is at 800,000.
Do we know the number of Jehovah's Witness people in the country.
Yeah, because they've never been voting. In fact,
but they have their own statistics. I just want to know.
Now, I think they have it. I have some friends who are Jehovah's Witness people. I'll call them afterwards and
so I think at a point we'll have to have a whole discussion about people who abstain from the electoral process because of religion. And what could have been, or whether the polls results would have been different.
Different.
This person decided to. I think
in 2020, even though we compiled the voters register in the same year, in fact, a few months to December 7, over 7 million people did not vote. That's higher than the number of people who voted to elect a winner. So many people go for the voters ID card for many other reasons, right? And for some strange reason, there are many people who don't actually vote. Now, if you look at our voters register today, it's in excess of 18 million. Just about, give or take, 11 million people voted in 2020. So Mahama had 6 million, Akufo-Addo had 6 million. 6 point something. So
averagely 12 million.
Yes, averagely 12 million. Now, averagely 12 million. Or just, even if you send it to say 30
maybe if
million.
you had rejected ballots and the others.
Yes, you had 30 million. Still, about 4 million people did not vote. And so that's a given. My issue with the religious fanaticism, it's not about voting or not to vote. It's about the medical issue. I've said this on countless occasions. There are people who refuse blood transfusion on religious grounds. There are people who refuse injection on religious grounds. And
there are even people who refuse taking medication on religious.
And that, to me, that's more dangerous than deciding not to vote. Yes, voting is a civic responsibility. Because whether you vote or not, the decisions from the elected will affect you one way or the other. When they said everybody should sleep because of COVID, Jehovah's Witness people also slept.
In fact,
but the one that asked them to sleep,
not even sleeping. When they said churches, churches shouldn't operate for 2 weeks. Everybody obeyed.
That's the point,
irrespective of the faith.
It is what it is.
All right, I'm done with my paper.
Okay, so then that will be chronicled this morning. Jinapo to next government. Scrap VAT on mining exploration. Cozy inaugurate road and bridge in Adentan. And Dampare applauds Baumia Mahama et al. For conducting decent campaigns devoid of violence. Quotation for this morning, Matthew 22:17. Tell us then what you think. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Then God answered, here I'm the one Adam. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God what belongs to God. Yes. So pay your taxes. And so, okay, anyway, so that's it.
All right. So you mentioned that you don't think voting will send somebody to heaven or hell. Anyway, Mahama has a message for a particular set of people who he thinks will go to hell. Okay. Liars won't go to heaven. Mahama jabs Akufo-Addo on Dumso claims. Also, I'm with the Daily Post newspaper. The economy is in critical condition. Jinapo. Why? Are you surprised that Mahama says liars won't go to heaven?
Yeah, and the president spoke yesterday, and he's been speaking about Dumso. He says, yes, in a sense, there's no Dumso. The president is not the only one saying this. But like we mentioned yesterday, if the problem is being fixed, that's a better alternative. That's a better solution. Because once you fix it, then nobody will come and then complain about the lights going off. Because the same people whose lights are going off are those people who are going to vote.
Exactly.
And they won't just listen to you, but they'll look at whether their lights are on or not.
Panic grips MPP in Ashanti. Comes to the photograph of the flag bearer of the party.
But the Ashanti Council says they are all voting for MPP. But now they lie. Nah, are you here? Okay.
All right, back page of the Daily Post newspaper. This is our story. Black Queens friendly against Senegal and Tunisia in limbo due to lack of $40,000. Why are we doing this to our women?
We don't have money.
But if it were the Black Stars who find money, it's $40,000 for. I don't think it's a big deal for the FA. Please, even ESCO members sometimes get 100,000 as packs.
After the election.
Abedi Pele calls for Ghana football restructuring following AFCON setbacks, and GFA Executive Council to review Otuado's technical report on AFCON qualifiers today.
All right, let me go through the Republic newspaper. The Republic newspaper front page. Akufo-Addo tears Mahama apart as he shreds 24-hour policy. Security chiefs commend EC, and Mahama cries wolf again. Alleges foul play in election process. other stories here. Baumia pledges to complete Agenda 111. It says to complete Agenda 111 in the first year. Do you remember when was this promise made? It was 8 years first, right?
It was supposed to take 18 months. It was supposed to take 18 months.
Locked funds. Men's Gold customers threatened to vote against NPP on December 7. And Rock City Hotel to launch Safe Drive. To launch Drive Safe, Arrive Alive, road safety campaign on November 29. I'm done with the Republic.
Okay, so Martin Amido has written another episode, like I mentioned. Now, Martin Amido has decided to give NDC some peace of mind. This one, the target is on the request to Speaker to recall Parliament. Martin Amido says it's needless. So the majority leader's memorandum to recall Parliament is needless now. That's what.
And he's not alone. I mean, on Monday, Dr. Frederick Odro made a similar pronouncement. So let's see.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Okay, so the Daily Satellite. Clear and present danger with an exclamation mark. 50 new HIV cases recorded in Ghana daily. And I'm told the young people are throwing away their lives over pleasure.
What's that?
And especially in
HIV,
senior high
cases.
schools. That's in sexually transmitted diseases, the infections rate. This one specific. 50 new HIV cases are recorded daily. And the drivers are the young people who have thrown caution to the wind. Mumfa Bogenya swine. The other headlines here: 2 jailed 13 years for trading in human skulls. Trader jailed 15 years over drugs. And so that's it for Daily Satellite.
The final newspaper I have is the Insight newspaper. Is the governing party's foothold in Ashanti region threatened? As OK Frimpong daises NPP's Apia Kubi with all-round development projects in Asante Achim. Also, towards revolutionizing Ghana's transport industry, Alan promises Fada Dabeje for policy for trotro drivers and transport operators. And 2024 elections, African Electoral Institute demands probe into claims of politically exposed EC officers. This is a probe. Elections, 10 days.
This is busy organizing the election.
Even those officials are busy preparing for the election now. Open probe. Ghana is at crossroads. Vote out NPP. Arise for change urges Ghanaians. And with one Supreme Court judgment over Fetek Akraba lands, don't dare encroach. Chief warns land guards.
All right. Other papers here. Let me take you through the. Which paper do I even have? Okay. This one is the Dispatch newspaper. Front page. You could not keep the lights on. How can you run a 24-hour economy? How can you? You know, there was something that Kwame Janswa said yesterday that we must all be thinking about. You know, this whole jab about you brought Doomsaw, you didn't solve it. That's not the issue. The issue really is the fact that we were in a precarious situation that led us into those protracted hours. I mean, those power challenges, the Doomsaw era. By the time the NDC was leaving office, that issue was dealt with. Even if not completely, let's say 70%. So what needed to have been done was to add the 30%. What did the current government do when they came in? Instead of focusing on adding the 30 to complete and let's find a sustainable way to deal with this issue once and for all, they spent their time, in my understanding, bickering, going after various companies and talking about the plans. If you had concerns with some of the
power purchase agreements,
and you know, even with the power purchasing agreements, there were some that the various energy think tanks, like ASEP, for example, where Dr. Amin Anta comes from, and where the PRC boss also comes from, they had suggested that there were some of them that had not even, fulfilled conditions precedent. So deal with those ones and ensure that the contracts don't even come into force. They didn't listen. They went after the ones that had been, propagated in the media prior to the elections. What did they even do with it? America, for example, they extended it, didn't they? Now, instead of focusing on, like I said, addressing the remaining 30, if that was what was left, because they spent so much time on all these things, they neglected it. And now we are even in a worse form. It's just a matter of time for us to plunge into that situation where we'll have to go back to those long hours of power crisis. And so for me, instead of them to focus on solutions, and they keep referencing, and there was doomsday then, and you have sat down and you've taken us almost back to that situation. Just like how things were run down so bad that we had to go back to the IMF, a place you said you took us from.
The only difference is that now we don't have a timetable for it.
What is the commitment? Where is the commitment to fixing the problem?
See, we had been dealing with erratic power supply for a while. If you remember, in 2007, we marshaled pastors to go to the Akosombo Dam to pray. And of course, I believe in prayers. In fact, every Muslim believes that there is a special prayer that can be said to invite rains. And it works. I think recently, in the northern part of the country, we carried stories like that when the drought hit. So it works. I understand that. But the point I'm trying to make is that it had become very consistent. Now, have we put in place enough installed capacity to address any issue of protracted erratic power supply? Yes, we have. Now, what is left is our ability to power or fire those plants. And that has become an economic problem. See, by now, Atuabo Phase 2 should have come on stream for us to have enough gas supply to power our plants. As for the installed capacity, is there. We have the capacity to even export to neighboring countries. Now that we've had to fall on Cote d'Ivoire, it's supposed to be the other way around, because there's what we call the West Africa Gas Power Pool, where you just plug in your excess power and your neighbors are buying it and they are paying you in dollars. Remember when the president directed that we should curtail power supply to Burkina Faso?
Yeah, to the point where recently we've been importing even power from
Cote d'Ivoire. Yes. That's because there's a pool that has been established already. All we needed to do was to generate excess and they are ready to buy. So the argument about power purchase agreement and what have you, all we needed to do was sit down, just use a fine comb, go through it, right? But it doesn't mean that you should terminate some of them arbitrarily, resulting in judgment debt.
Absolutely. And look at us here.
Yeah.
And at the moment, you see, we think that we'll always have the upper hand in terms of the market forever. No. Nigeria is working on its own.
Yeah. Once they get it right.
Yes, once they get it, we will not be like the immediate resource.
That's a bigger economy.
Oh, yes.
You take it or leave it, that's a bigger economy. So obviously they'll dominate.
On all fronts.
Anyway. And so I find those conversations so infantile. When I hear that and you endured doomsday, the doomsday you're having now is not 12 hours.
For me, I tune off. When the argument gets to that level, I keep
the lights on. Like, how is that difficult?
Especially now that you see, in the past it was postpaid though.
Yes.
Now you've paid for it already.
Yeah.
So the least they can do is to give you the light.
Let me make a vex this morning, Seth.
It's okay.
Other stories.
Because honestly, yesterday colleagues were struggling to come to work. It's serious, though.
So what? My point is, what do you take us for?
For me, it's fine. I wanted to add a tab, but now we'll get angry more. So let's leave it to the power.
Ghana needs a firm and decisive leader like me. Like Baumia.
That's a city radio.
Ghana needs a firm and decisive leader like Baumia. That's according to President Akufo-Addo. Focus on PMMC. This board, they went to do Occupy whatever. What are they brought to the economy? Anyway, the state agency.
The PMMC.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's done well.
Yeah, so now it's a land of gold and diamonds.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah.
Focus on PMMC, the state agency that puts Ghana gold on top of the world. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So that's it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper. The final one I have is the Herald this morning. Powerful watch seller. Oh dear. Are they still doing this? Okay.
Exposes National Security's terror squad. Publishes the exact tantrums thrown at kidnapped Emirates manager. I'll bring you that story. Media Foundation fights EC's media restrictions at policing centers as anxiety swells over NCA's internet disruptions. NPP plots with EC to rig 2024 election. That's according to Mahama. At that, Traditional Council warns Fourth Estate and allies about electrochem. Deputy Finance Minister pulls gun on constituents at NPP rally for demanding accountability. Highlights of NDC and NPP manifestos on health. Now, this story emanated from Larry Dogbe, and he's been speaking to this story. And here is the story. That's page 3. Rashida Sani Nasamu, the powerful watch seller implicated in the kidnapping of Sylvia Patience Ba, the Emirates Airline Airport Services Manager in Accra, by rogue element at the National Security, has effectively shredded the Ministry of National Security's unsigned statement denying their involvement in what appears to be a state-sponsored terrorism. In an opinion piece published on Ghana Report, of course, which belongs to her, an online platform owned by her, Rashida repeated the exact tantrums thrown at her by the National Security thugs who abducted Sylvia, handcuffed her, gagged and blindfolded her before driving her to an unknown location where she was kept for over 24 hours and later dumped near Ashaman, dumped her at near Ashaman to find her way home. The Ghana Report write-up titled "Canning Sylvia Ba at it again at the airport" suggested Sylvia, who was reportedly threatened with rape, murder, and complete disappearance of her mortal remains by the thugs, specifically linked to the National Investigations Bureau, that's NIB, had lied about her near-death ordeal. Kwabna Edubuahin, the Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Benjamin Ansan, Operations Director of the National Signals Bureau, an agency of the National Security Council, and Rashida Sani Nasamu had an altercation with Sylvia on Tuesday, November 19, 2024, after two of them had arrived late at the Kodoka International Airport and wanted to board the Dubai-bound flight whose doors were closed and ready to for takeoff. They were deboarded amid threats to teach Sylvia a lesson, and 2 days later, she was kidnapped while entering her Spinters Road home at 8 p.m. The Herald sources at the National Security Secretariat behind the Accra Sports Stadium, popularly called Castle Annex or Blue Gate, have revealed that the two groups contacted a specialized office to have Sylvia's phone number tracked. While the first group acted ahead of the kidnapping, the second group wanted to know the whereabouts following her abduction to have her rescued. A prominent Supreme Court judge has been linked to the second group. However, Ghana Report piece dated November 25, 2024, believed to have been written by the former Metro TV an EIB network reporter, said it has become apparent that Sylvia has stepped on so many toes that she probably had accumulated a tall list of enemies, adding Emirates must hang a free box around their counter at Kotoka Airport to know how Sylvia Ba treats passengers. Other parts of the Ghana Report write-up, attributed to the certain Frederick Soya, frequent flyer, reveal Sylvia's ties to General Francis Aduamanfo, a former National Security Coordinator in Akufo-Addo's administration, claiming that, quote, many passengers on Emirates have voiced out their plight in the hands of Sylvia, who intentionally closes boarding to flight even when time is not up, only to extort upward of $500 to allow boarding. Okay. So the story actually continues, but
please, they should grab a copy.
We've had enough.
Yes, the New Crusading Guide newspaper, final paper I have, front page. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia will romp home with victory. This is according to Sticker, right? He's the knot that connects Christians, Muslims, and other ethnic groups. Dr. Stephen Amwa says, repackaged rice rockers. FDA confirmed wholesomeness before distribution. Passion Air apologizes to concerned customer Suleimana Isifu for outstanding contributions to education. And revolutionizing transport industry, Alan Trematin unveils Fadada Bejifo fraud policy. And then Asante Achim knows haulers at Apia Kubi. The narrative here has changed. And Stephen in team captures a Sutifi South constituency for NPP. That's it for the New Crusading Guide newspaper. Okay. Let's go to the portal. Start with starfm.com.gh while I open City News.
Okay, so starfm.com.gh. Okay, see here. The headlines from starfm.com.gh. Napo is a weapon fashioned against Baumia. Frank Amwakohene is saying. Akufo-Addo Baumia attempting to steal Sagleme housing project, Sam George. Election Security Task Force commends EC, political parties, public for their efforts towards the December 7 elections. IJ Kosa commissions 188 lockable stores, urge Krobos to vote NPP. And Paul Adomotori's new book explores 77 pivotal moments in Ghana's Fourth Republic.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so City Newsroom, front page. BOG's gold coin launched. Price range from 11,000 cedis to 45,000 cedis. Wow. And other stories here. Election 2024, Ghana will be in safe hands under Baumia. That's according to President Akufo-Addo. Don't trust Baumia, a free Ankara to Ghanaians. Still on election 2024. Reverse media access restriction at coalition centers. MFWA tells EC. And liars cannot go to heaven. Mahama tells Akufo-Addo on doomsday claim. And Akufo-Addo Baumia government has prioritized slogans over action. That's John Dramani Mahama. That will be it for the newspaper review segment. Thank you all, gentlemen, for your company and your time. We'll go for a break. When we return, it will be time for first check. No, it will be time for legal check and then first check. This is a Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM.
Breakfast on the Morning Star. This is Star 103.